except play video games. So I'm not going to be playing any video games, especially not Skyrim, which I'm not playing on my Steam Deck. I'm just going to be enjoying myself and thinking about all of the Christmas wishes that people have, and Christmas wishes that I might have, and all of the wonderful things that happen at this time of year. But especially, I'm just going to be thinking. I'm not going to be thinking about mining, because I'm not trying to mining any moonstones in Skyrim right now. I'm not trying to find a vein to mine. I'm just kind of thinking about all the wonderful things that we do around the holidays. If you're a big fan of thinking, then this is the right night for you. And I want to just thank everybody who has joined me here this evening on EGI2. This is the I'm Thinking show, which is just 3 hours of thinking and responding to my own thoughts. I'd prefer if you just please respect me and don't bother me while I'm thinking. And if you feel like you need to bother me while I'm thinking, I just want you to know that I need to spend this time doing this for myself. I'm not playing Skyrim. If you're new to the show, this EGI2 is sponsored by FrameGride is, of course, a arena-based mech action game for the people at From Software that came out on the Dreamcast in the turn of the 21st century, and it is until we have a new sponsor, until we have an actual sponsor on EGI2, that's who our sponsor is. So go ahead over to FrameGride and check out all of that wonderful mech action. There's some sort of card element that I can't really get into right now because I'm just kind of thinking. I'm not playing Skyrim on my Steam Deck, and I'm trying to find some centering and some peace in my situation. So go ahead, and this is. Oh wow. Okay. So check. Is the microphone up? Microphone up? Is the microphone working for people? Mic is not on. It says mic is not on, but I see that the more mic is on. We're got a hype train going, so keep that hype train going. We'll make sure that we have the hype train going as we get into the thinking part of the show. So if got to get pretty going great. Things are going. We've reached a level 2 hype train. I don't know what that means. We're getting louder and louder. I'm worried that we're going to be making some people very uncomfortable, and I'm worried that the people here that have joined me for thinking aren't going to be thinking about much, because they're going to be saying that it's too loud, and so we have to go ahead. Okay, we got it. Thank you, Game Quoter. Hold on. So so we had some issues with the microphone, and this is EGI2. I'm thinking about the wonderful holiday season. If you're just joining us, I'm thinking about all of the wonderful times that we're going to spend with the people that we love. We're going to spend time with the people that we cherish. We're going to be thinking about them throughout the holiday season, and this is going to somehow I'm going to do this for 3 hours, and I'm not really quite sure how I'm going to be able to keep this position, this with my eyes wide open for the holidays season. I'm going to be taking. I'm not going to be. If you're thinking about calling, please don't call at any time, because I'm thinking, and it's time to start the thinking. To go ahead and go ahead and just talk amongst yourselves about the kinds of things that you're thinking about, because I'm not playing anything. I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just going ahead and looking at the chat every once in a while, just to make sure that people are still interested in the thinking and not the Skyrimming, because I don't know if Skyrimming is in fact a verb. It's cool that I'm doing this. Sound off in the chat if you really like this, because this is a completely new thing. We've never tried thinking before on EGI2, especially for 3 hours. So I'm very happy to have crossed this line with you and with the support of the EGI2 family and everybody in the chat and on. Great. So if you're just joining us, this is EGI2, I'm thinking, sponsored by, of course, FrameGride. FrameGride is a arena mech action game from the people at From Software. They've been sponsoring EGI2, they've been sponsoring EGI2 without our permission for the last several weeks as we go into the holiday season. We are looking for other we're looking for other sponsors, paid sponsors. Of course, FrameGride doesn't take any. We don't take any money from FrameGride, and they don't try to give us any money. So we are just asking for anybody who might want to sponsor us or send us like a mini PC, one of those great mini PCs, like the ones with the skulls on the side. I think if you, a company called Minis Forum, if Minis Forum is out there, just go ahead and send us. We'll do an unboxing. Send us a little PC, a little gaming PC. We'll test all the games. We'll set up emulators, and we'll do all the things that we need to gain your sponsorship and gain your support. So please don't call. Please don't call at any point. Because we are going to be asking for. We've got. Hello. Thank you for coming, and this is EGI2, and it's working really well because I definitely thought this fully out before I started to do this, and now we're here doing it. Sorry. Hello. You're on the air with EGI2. I'm thinking, and you're interrupting me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking. Can you ask your From Software guys? I was thinking a lot, and what I was thinking about is maybe FrameGride is a mistranslation. Is it maybe supposed to be glide with an L?
Right.
So then the frame would be gliding.
So what you're saying is that you're talking about something that is, in that you're of course talking about our sponsorship, which is with FrameGride. And
yeah, because you're in the know.
Right. So we don't actually get any. We don't have any communication. We don't sync up at all. We don't have any sort of what do you call it when the two pieces of something kind of work together?
Collaboration.
We don't collaborate with the FrameGride. We just put up the name FrameGride, and of course the images of the wonderful mech arena action game FrameGride for people to get an idea of what it would be like if they would give us paid sponsorship. So things like mini PCs that could be used to run old GameCube games or even old Xbox games.
I would love to buy you guys a table.
A what?
A table, like a desk where you could put the PC on.
Do you work for the table company? Oh, to put the.
I don't.
Okay, so we could put a little. We could have a big table. And we could have one of those really wide, long tables, and we could put all of the different mini PCs that people send us for reviewing sponsorships, like Minis Forum, or what's another company that you can think of that makes mini PCs for gaming and emulation?
I know I have some of those handhelds, but that's not really. It's
so
not
like
really
like a Retroid Pocket or Aoneo or something or other, and there's of course the
I've been playing with the
Miu Mini. Everybody was talking about the Miu Mini.
Anbernic.
Which one's that? Abernick.
Anbernic.
Is it
Abernick, yeah.
or is it Abernick?
I don't know. I've only ever seen it written.
Well, if they would like to sponsor us, because we could take a paid sponsorship for Anbernick or Abernick if either company makes mini PCs or if they make Retroid gaming machines, then we could definitely hold on for a second. Yeah, I'm not playing anything. I'm listening to you. What did you say?
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to play them for anything. You could just have them on the table. Because right now.
Right, we just have them on a big white table. We could have them all set up in a night. We could maybe have like a plant on the table.
Yeah, because there's not enough time to play games all the time. I mean, sometimes you just think.
Right, of course, you got to just, because but that's what I'm thinking is about, because I want to think about ways to get this sponsorship, since we don't actually get any money from FrameGride, even though FrameGride of course is our sponsor this evening. So if you're watching EGI2 and if you're interested in learning about FrameGride, just go ahead into wikipedia.com and type in FrameGride into the search field.
There is a fan translation. You
And
can play FrameGride.
And this just who is this one you're calling from?
This is Gio from Dallas.
Gio from Dallas. So Gio from Dallas, back to you, Gio. There's a brand new fan translation of FrameGride, our show sponsor FrameGride. So if you're interested in it, in these kinds of things, then you. So
yeah, I never got it working. I got it working. I never got into the game.
yeah, of course.
You can't play Dreamcast, I
on my
think.
Steam. I'm not playing Skyrim or anything like that. So if this just in, Geo is saying that there is a fan translation.
To fan mastering.
No, if there's a. Okay, so there's a fan translation of FrameGride according to Geo from Dallas.
Oh, the chat says translation. I love translation.
Okay, so we've got translations. We've got of course wonderful news from Dallas that FrameGride's it's been retranslated, and if you are looking for a new way to play FrameGride, then this is the season for it, because that new FrameGride translation is in fact out for public consumption. So you could imagine downloading FrameGride and playing it on one of these Retroid handhelds, or perhaps one of those mini gaming PCs that have you can install a lot of emulators on your RetroArch. Your is Bleemcast still a thing?
Yes, that's for the PlayStation Classic, I think. Some of those like official consoles, you can
Right.
sideload and have your own PlayStation games.
Yeah.
on.
So if you have if you want to play FrameGride came out on Dreamcast, so you actually could you play FrameGride on Bleemcast?
I don't think the PS Classic is strong enough, but the Steam Deck could.
So
you could do it on the Steam Deck.
This just in. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. And this is Gio from Dallas. Thank you so much for your call. I didn't really expect anyone to be calling, since I am in fact just thinking. So please don't call. And thank
Sorry
you
about
for
that.
your
I'll
call.
let you get back to your thinking.
Of course. Okay, so we're back to thinking. We're just thinking about everything that we just learned from Gio and. Hello, you're in the. I'm thinking, and you're in, and hello, who is this? I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm also thinking. I just wanted to think with you.
Okay, so you're not playing Skyrim. You're just thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing anything. I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm literally just thinking.
Yeah, same.
What are you thinking about?
Just stuff and things.
Have you did you hear what we were saying earlier about the Bleemcast?
The Bleemcast.
So is it? So I'm confused, and maybe it's because I'm so busy thinking and not I'm thinking about one thing and hold on. Yeah, hold on. So they were saying about the Bleemcast.
Uh-huh.
So I thought the Bleem was just for the PlayStation, to play PlayStation games on a Dreamcast, but then isn't there something called a Bleemcast for playing the Dreamcast on something else?
I'm not the person to ask about that. You can talk to me about Steam Decks or...
Oh, that'd be cool. It would be cool if, but I'm not... I'm. Let me just move some stuff around here. Yeah, so I'm not. I'm just not playing anything.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm playing with my cats.
What is your cat like one of those cat people from Skyrim?
No, like my cat Bilbo.
Oh, thank you for your call. Have a happy holiday.
All right, you too.
So that was. So if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. I'm just thinking, and I'm not playing Skyrim on my Steam Deck because I made an agreement with Twitch to stream for 20 hours a month, and unfortunately, because of the workload that some of the other streams that we do takes, it's very difficult to fully flesh out that 20 hours a month with the regular EGI2 numbered streams. So one of the things that I thought to do to sort of flesh that time out would be to just think on the stream for 3 hours, and hopefully people see this and enjoy it and inspires other people to think and gives a lot of other makes it so it's easier to hit that 20 hours a month. And also, I'm not supposed to use that. I'm not supposed to play video games during that 20 hours. So please don't call because I am just thinking. Hello, you're on the air with EGI2. I'm thinking. Who is this?
I'm thinking.
Okay, so am I. And what are you thinking about?
Do you ever think there'll be enough of a furry fan base that they'll bring back Sly Cooper?
Well, that's a great question, and I have actually been thinking about it, but give me 1 second because I'm not playing Skyrim.
Well, of course you're not playing Skyrim. You're thinking about Sly Cooper.
Exactly. So I'm thinking about Sly Cooper, and I'm thinking that maybe that the Insomniac people have gotten a little bit too over their heads, over their skis, not over their heads. Because if they were over their heads, it'd be up. Would you be up? Okay. So my thought, this is me thinking, and is the moon. My thinking is that there is a fan base for the Sly Cooper series. I believe that there's 4 full Sly Cooper games. There's the 3 original games on the PlayStation 2, and then there's a 4th one, I believe, on the PlayStation 4. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so that is a cell-shaded action adventure game with a lot of I do think it does have a lot of heart and a lot of jumping and a lot of crawling under lasers and looking around and trying to get away from lamps, and I think that people are really interested in those kinds of games. And the current open world Insomniac games don't really have a lot of lamps. I mean, they have lamps. Like if you're on top of a lamp in Infamous or Spider-Man, you can imagine that there's plenty of lamps there. I also think that there's a lot of. What was that?
What was that?
Hello?
Hello?
Who's that?
It's still me.
Did somebody? Thank you for your call. I'm sorry. Please don't call because it's very hard to think and take calls at the same time. But if you're thinking about calling, please don't call because I'm thinking about the Sly Cooper series and how wonderful it would be to have all the Sly Cooper games on the. Is someone else on? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Who's this? Are you Sly Cooper? No,
this is Shmimothy Bimothy.
Shmimothy, welcome to the EGI2. I'm thinking we do have we have callers on hold, unfortunately, and I don't understand. understand how we got so many phone calls. I've been asking people not to call because I am trying to think and not play Skyrim. I'm not playing Skyrim. I am just thinking and not mining Moonstone that I will then take back to my homestead in Skyrim to smelt into Moonstone ore that I will then use to make my weapons, some of my weapons, a little bit stronger. A lot of my weapons are pretty strong. I don't know if I will ever be able to play Skyrim enough to level up to the point where I can make them any stronger, but I have been experimenting with the Moonstone ore because of some of the Dawn Guard missions.
Are you, so you side with the Dawn Guard? You approve of them?
I approve of the Dawn Guard. I'm not some sort of blood-sucking freak that goes around killing innocent people and drinking blood in the night. So yes, of course, I do side with the Dawn Guard. Although I have some issues with any sort of organized militia. When it comes down to the gradations or gradations?
I believe it's gradations.
Okay, so it's this just in, it's gradations, and if you gradations like putting things on a curve, not curve.
Yes, as well as the hue and the tone of the colors.
Yeah. So are you playing Skyrim?
Currently, no. I'm a big fan of the pottery in that game. It's quite detailed.
Cool.
Yeah, very ornate.
I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking about it.
Oh, of course. That's actually why I called you today. Just because I was thinking about some stuff myself.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. I mean, I'm supposed to be thinking, but I mean, it's fine.
I had a great dream last night where I was working at this hotel, and the lady was mad at me, the owner of the hotel. So we went on the walk, and she was really grumpy, and we got interrupted because there was a lady in the road. She was an artist. She was like 7 or 8 feet tall, and she had this beautiful glazed pottery with like yarn on it, and I fell in love with her, and she told me where to find her, but I couldn't remember. It had something to do with Jaguar Street, but yeah, I just wish I could remember. It was a good dream. I enjoyed it. Did you have any dreams lately that made you think?
Sorry, what?
Did you have any dreams that made you think?
Oh, yeah, I had a dream that there was a giant outside of my Skyrim homestead, and he doesn't seem to be a threat, but he keeps, every time I come out the door after I've been going upstairs in the homestead and enchanting items, and then I come outside he's a giant, and he's one of those guys with the big long clubs and the kind of elf ears and a kind of wispy beard and mustache. You know those ones?
Yeah.
So he keeps getting closer to the house, and I find myself wondering. I mean, he's not attacked anybody yet, but I've got people that work on the homestead, and I try not to attack innocent beings in Skyrim, but he's getting pretty close to the house.
Sounds like a sort of a big friendly giant.
No, he's definitely. I've definitely found myself going toe to toe with the giants, and of course that also, that's kind of like a pun, right? Because you get giants' toes, and you can use them in
that's
potions.
Right.
Yeah.
And mammoth cheese as well as can be found on their bodies. Is that correct? I haven't played
Skyrim. Yeah, you can use that for the tallow. You can use that for all sorts of things.
Ah.
So yeah, that's a dream I've been having.
Nice. That's good. That's a good one.
So thank you for your call. I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking, and you guys, it's okay that I've gotten a few calls, but please don't call, because I am trying to just spend the next 3 hours thinking. No one's ever been thinking on EGI. Hello, you're on EGI 2. I'm thinking.
Yeah, hi Robbie, I'm thinking too. It's Scott from Pittsburgh.
Hey Scott from Pittsburgh, the Windy City. It's wonderful to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you too. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to
And
you, Scott from Pittsburgh.
I just wanted to
So I'm
call
thinking,
in
I'm
and
not
let.
playing Skyrim, I'm thinking, and I'm just glad to hear from anybody from Pittsburgh, because there's a funny thing about Pittsburgh. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
Okay, so the funny thing about Pittsburgh is that Pittsburgh was, when I was living in Baltimore, was always on one of the last places you would go to if you went on tour. If you went on East Coast tour, you kind of head to Philadelphia, New York, Providence, Toronto, you know, then kind of circle back around towards Baltimore, and you'd always end up in Pittsburgh. And when I was younger, there was a rule that we had about Pittsburgh, because it was always the last stop on the tour, which was that because, you know, when you're young and you're on tour, you try to really, you know, not spend a lot of money, eat cheaply, don't get too drunk. But then when you got to Pittsburgh, it was the last show, so the rule was no rules in Pittsburgh.
That's a great rule. I like that rule, and I'm glad that Pittsburgh could host you to that. And, you know, I wanted to let you know as well, Robbie, that admittedly, I don't know much about tech, and I don't play many video games, although I have. But I'm still very thankful for EGI2. I'm thankful
like
for
that.
the remastering of EGI2.
Yeah, so it's almost like if someone said earlier, we're reframing it to talk about FrameGride, of course. EGI2 sponsor FrameGride, and this is we're kind of griding in a way. With this is a completely new use of the stream to just have 3 hours of thinking. And
yeah.
Of course I am thinking about playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck. And
well, my thought on things were that since this is like a remaster of EGI that I never saw, that to me EGI2 is actually more like a pre-master.
A pre-master.
Like a pre-master of a remaster.
So it's sort of we took elements away, and now we've got we've got a kind of a more raw, a more hard edge. Do you take away all the anti-aliasing and TSR? Is that something? Is that TS?
PSR, but that could be something.
We're pulling back the draw distance. We're taking away geometric complexity. And we're
I agree.
We're working our way back to some sort of more primitive, more honest.
I love the direction that everything's going, and I like to have you in my life, and Allan in my life. Hopefully, Allan comes
Allan's
back in my life.
And it's not because him and I are having an argument about finances. He's just he's dealing with his own problems right now, so we're just going to be holding on to. You hear that?
I do hear that.
Well, that's not Skyrim. I'm not playing Skyrim.
It's certainly not Skyrim or Giants.
So Scott, what are you thinking about? Happy holidays, by the way. Happy holidays to everybody in Pittsburgh. If you're watching from Pittsburgh, sound off in the chat, because it's a great town. I think it's one of the most underrated, most beautiful cities in the country, and there's really no place like Pittsburgh.
I agree, and honestly, if you do want to know what I'm thinking about, and I don't want to take up all your thinking time, but I had a thought. So I made a list the other day.
Oh wow! Okay.
And it wasn't the greatest list. Well, actually, I can't even take credit for the list. My girlfriend made the list, and we went shopping. She asked me if I had the list, and I couldn't help myself, and I went into full list mode. And she got very aggravated. She got very annoyed, and she threatened to take me off of the list.
Oh my God.
And we continued, and we were shopping, and we passed the ingredients for cookies, to which I said I should make cookies. And she said, you should make cookies. And I consulted the list, and they weren't on. And as a matter of fact, when I mentioned that the cookies weren't on the list,
Gotta put them back.
that's when she told me I was about to be taken off the list. So
Oh.
I made an amendment and I put cookies on the list.
Well, you can. It's okay. You can. The thing about the list is that it can be amended sometime, and some and some very specific circumstances. We do amend the list from time to time. In fact, in our previous show, which we did for AdultSwim.com, electronic game information, we did in fact do lists more than once because we needed to amend those lists because, you know, something like, if you can imagine the old Xbox classic action game, mech action game, Battle Engine Aquila, not Frame Guide, which of course is tonight's sponsor. If you are a sponsor looking for a show to send something to for sponsorship, this is the show to do it. We're looking not only for just plugs, but also if you want to send us mini PCs or retro handhelds that we could then put on a big table and have a nice little assortment on the table, we could do that for if you would send us those things for free. If you would like, if you're anybody, if Minis Forum is watching, then we're looking for one of those really compact gaming PCs that has a skull on the side. It's almost the size of one of those like really little PlayStation 2s. So Scott, thank you for your call. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on you because I do need to get back to thinking because I am a little bit getting a little bit behind on thinking. But happy holidays to you and happy holidays to everyone in Pittsburgh. Once again, if you're in Pittsburgh, say hi to Scott. Back to you, Scott. So if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. This is EGI2. I'm thinking about, well, I was thinking about the holidays, but now I can't stop thinking about Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. So if you're interested in that, then I would request kindly that you please do join me. Please don't call. Please join me in thinking about Sly Cooper and any other games that you might want to see remastered or reframed or from soft. So I'm thinking I'm not playing Skyrim, and I'm just not gonna okay. This is Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and just put down my Steam. I'm gonna look at the chat for a second and see how people are doing. If people are really enjoying what's happening with the. Oh wow. Okay, so we're thinking in the chat. Puppy Mouth says, "Kid, hell yeah." Mossy Lump says, "Yeah, games." Don't know what that is in reference to. I can't. Again, I was so busy thinking and not playing on the Steam Deck that I was missing up. They're loving all the thinking. James Trevor says, "Robbie, are you playing Skyrim?" Thank you. I'm not playing Skyrim. The Cooper Gang. Don't know what that means. It's going up too fast. Who's scared? Aaron's, I'm scared, Robbie. I'm scared. True Balloons. It's cool that you're not playing anything. Thank you so much. I am not playing anything. I am, in fact, thinking, and now I'm thinking about something besides Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. And please, and it's important that you don't call because I do need to be thinking and not. Wow. So this is, if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. I'm thinking on the stream. Battle Engine Aquila is in the chat, so we're gonna go ahead and keep. Just look up. Hello, you're on the air with EGI2. I'm
Hello?
thinking.
Hi.
Who are you? Where are you calling from?
My name's Pam. I'm calling from Denver.
Pam from Denver, the Windy City. The mile. It's a
Mhm.
mile up in the air, and it's
Mile up.
unless something truly cataclysmic happens, it's going to stay there.
Mhm. That's
So,
right.
Pam,
That's
tell
right.
me about what you're thinking about, because I was thinking. Okay, so I was thinking about the holidays, and then I started thinking about the
Mhm.
Bleemcast, and then I started thinking about
Mhm.
mini PCs that could maybe
Right.
sponsor the show instead of Frame Gride, which we don't receive any money from Frame Gride, obviously.
Right.
And then
Right.
I started thinking,
Well,
and then someone said Sly Cooper, and I started thinking about all the Sly Cooper games, and I was thinking about Pittsburgh, and now I'm thinking about
Mhm.
Denver. I mean, what a great city Denver is! Great light rail system,
Yeah.
pretty decent commuter rail, electrified commuter rail
Yeah.
system, beautiful
I
Union
like to go on.
Station, downtown Denver.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I like to go to the airport on that.
No, it's a great way to get to the airport. It's a great way to
Mhm.
just ride beside the highway for a few miles, and you look
Yeah.
down from the elevated tracks, and you look at all the people in the cars, and you just wonder, are they going home to boot up their Bleemcast and play Frame Gride for the first time or the last time? Because in these types of times, you can't really. That's what I've been thinking about. It's just
Right. Right. I mean,
with
you know,
with
we
the
all.
giants that hang outside your homesteads and whatnot. Okay,
Yeah.
so the giant's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. The giant?
Oh no, he's back. No, so
Oh.
Pam, what are you thinking about these holidays? Happy holidays to you and everybody, of course.
Yeah.
In
Happy
Denver.
holidays to you, Robbie.
It's a
Yeah,
great
thank
place
you.
to visit at any time of year, but
Mhm.
especially during the holidays. What a festive time! You
Yeah.
can go up to take
Right.
take your ore and kind of head back to
Mhm.
the smelter and just kind of make. If you ran out of moonstone, you can just make some iron ingots, because those always come in handy.
You can. Yeah, absolutely. I'm amazed you know that, not playing Skyrim right now.
Right? Yeah, because I'm not.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. No. We all. Yeah.
So again,
fact.
sorry, I keep interrupting you because I do have a lot of thoughts, but I just wanted to make sure that you have a chance to get. You did call when I asked you not to, but that's fine, because that's what thinking is. In some ways, it's dealing with invasive thoughts and figuring out ways to kind of identify them and move them out of the front part of the kind of move them out of your inventory. So you've got like
The prefrontal cortex.
right. So you've got like your ebony bow, but then sometimes you want to use one of your crossbows. But
True.
you've got too many. You're carrying too much because of all the ore, and
Yeah.
so you drop the you gotta drop the ebony bow. I'm not saying you're an ebony bow,
Right. Right. Of course.
but
Of course.
you are invading.
I get
the
it.
Thinking.
Well, I've just been. I think a lot about how I regret buying City Skylines on a console because I can't use mods.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And I should have known better, but I got excited. There was a sale, and I didn't think about it.
You probably imagine, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to boot up the old system and just have it just kind of waiting for me, assuming you're playing on something that has a quick boot feature.
Right.
You don't want to.
Right. Yeah. No, but
maybe if you played it on on a Steam Deck, I don't know.
If they had the sequels out, if it's super cheap one day with everything, maybe. Because I want to play around with all the extra downloads and the buildings and everything, and fix all the stupid problems that I can't do. And I have a smaller map. I learned this like 6 months later. You don't have as big of a map on PlayStation, which was kind of devastating to hear. But you live and you learn.
Yeah, it's weird that you can't fast travel from inside your homestead.
I wish I could. I would love more of the fast travel rail. I'm sure you know much more about that than me, but
Well, I think it's weird that I can fast travel from inside of dungeons, but I can't fast travel from inside my own house. I mean, where's the logic
one
there?
day. I guess the developers didn't put it in yet. Maybe on the next upgrade.
Maybe I've been thinking, and now that you've been talking about City Skylines, I've been thinking about there's a game I heard about coming out on the Switch pretty soon. I think it's called Terra Nil.
I don't know.
It's
What's
supposed
that
to be
about?
kind of a relaxing kind of city builder or society builder kind of game.
I like those. Yeah, obviously.
And I don't know much about it other than I just kind of glanced at an article about it earlier this morning, and now that I'm thinking about Skylines and how maybe that didn't translate so easily to the. I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're saying that the problem with the City Skylines is that you don't really have the access to the mods, but you have access to a lot of the DL whole. What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, so. But the controls work fine.
They're fine.
Oh, I like
that. They're comfortable enough, but I can see why like a keyboard and mouse would be better.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, there was a sale and I got excited and I had bought a PlayStation 4. The first console I bought in years.
PlayStation 4 is your first console in how long?
Since I bought the original PlayStation 2, you know, the ones with the faulty disk drive.
Yeah.
And I never got it fixed. And then I haven't really played any video games, but I've been an avid watcher of EGI 2, despite that. But I wanted another media kind of thing, and I have Blu-rays that I can't play, and a PlayStation 4 seemed logical enough.
Did you get with a PS4 Slims? You get a PS4 Pro? Which iteration are we talking about here?
I don't think it's a Slim. I honestly don't know what a Pro is. I don't know. It's just one I found at
it looks like a double cheeseburger. I mean, it doesn't look like one, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the layer. It's got two big blocks and then two little blocks in the middle. And then
no,
I would
say
the PS4 regular and the PS4 Slim are just kind of, maybe this.
It's got to be a regular. It's two little blocks and then a big block on the bottom.
How hollow are we talking about? If you knock your knuckles on the top of that thing.
I have to pick it up. I remember the weight distribution being weird on it though when I was holding it.
Sounds like the
original. Does that help?
Sounds like the original.
It was hard to find in Denver. Even the big, grand, mile-high city of Denver, it was hard to find a PlayStation 4.
But now you got City Skylines on the PlayStation 4, and you're going into the holiday season, enjoying it, even though it doesn't have the best controls, and even though it doesn't have the
making the
smaller
best
map
of the situation.
So happy holidays to you and to everybody in Denver.
Thank you, Robbie.
Sorry, Pam, I gotta go. Now you got me thinking about if I correctly guessed whether or not you had the right. So this just in. Pam from Denver is having some second thoughts about whether or not City Skylines on the PlayStation 4 was the right for her. Scott from Pittsburgh got in trouble for making a list and then trying to get something that wasn't on the list, and then his girlfriend told him to get off the list. And there's a lot of stuff in all of there. I'm trying to piece this all together, but the problem is that I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking about what everybody's saying. So if I can, I'm just gonna spend some time collecting my thoughts. So please don't call while I'm thinking and interrupt. This is this is EGI 2. I'm thinking about what presents I'm gonna get from potential sponsors. Of course, if you're out there, this is the kind of splash image that you can imagine if you were looking to find a sponsor on twitch.tv/EGI2, and it is. Okay, so, well, it's time to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more thinking in just a moment, but until then, don't call, and we'll be right back. And we're back from the break. This is EGI2, I'm thinking, and I just want to welcome everybody back to the show where I'm just going to be thinking for the next couple of hours. We've already done Allan is seen a lot of people talking about Allan. Allan is not coming, so don't worry about that. Allan and I are just having a bit of a longer conversation about whether or not we're going to be able to reconcile with different ideas of where the So go ahead and don't call because I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm thinking, and this is EGI2. I'm thinking for the next two. We've almost gone through a full hour of thinking. And now we've got 2 more hours of thinking. So we're going to just be taking your thoughts, and we're going to be trying to meld them with if I've thought, then if you're thinking and I'm thinking and you're thinking, then we're both thinking about whether or not the holidays. So I'm worried about there's a dream I keep having, and we were talking about this earlier on the stream, where I'm going to be there's a giant outside the homestead, and he's always walking closer and closer to the house, and I'm worried that either he is going to start a fight or one of my familiars is going to start a fight. And if that happens, then of course we must take the giant down, harvest his toes, and potentially any clubs or pieces of meat that he might have on his person. So that's what I'm thinking about. So obviously this is a very special kind of a show. This is a very intricately woven just want to give a quick shout out to Frame Guide, of course, our evening sponsor, Frame Guide. If you are anybody who is looking for sponsorship, then Frame Guide is a great example of how sponsorship can work its way into a stream and be seen by many, many people all at once on EGI2, on twitch.tv. And if you are the maker of if you're maker of custom mini PCs that have really, that condense, sort of like a Steam Deck, but without the, but you could install Windows on it a lot easier. Hello, you're on the air with electronic EGI. Is it EGI2? I'm thinking. Hello.
Hold on, I gotta think about what I was gonna say.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's a bit difficult to think sometimes when you've got.
Thanks, Robbie. Thank you. I just gotta do some thinking.
So you're on EGI2. You are not playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck, correct?
No, I'm doing.
Me neither.
No.
I'm not playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck. I'm not playing anything on the Steam Deck. I'm just very glad that that you are also copacetic with that. What are you thinking about?
Thinking about where all red roses.
Thinking about where all the red roses are at? Like around the Dark Tower?
Oh, sure.
Well, how do you gotta get there?
Well, maybe there's a different Dark Tower I'm talking about.
Huh? So now I'm thinking about the Dark Tower series, of course, the series of books by Stephen King. I believe there's 7 books in the main series, and then there's a bunch of comics that Peter David wrote. Jay Lee illustrated some of them. Hello, you're on the air with EGI2, I'm thinking.
Oh, that's great. I'm also thinking.
What are you thinking about? The Dark Tower?
No, the book series?
Yeah, the book series and the comic book series.
No, I haven't actually read those. I feel like you talked to me about that another time that I called too, but it wasn't what I was thinking about. But it's okay. That's what you were thinking about.
Well, I'm thinking about this. It's kind of like, it's not quite a dream that I'm having, but because I'm thinking, obviously, I'm awake. But it's sort of a passing issue that I've got to go around this wasteland kind of in the top left-hand corner of the map, and I've got to fill up this file. Is the file a word? It's kind of like a vial, but I think it's called a file. Like a PHIAL.
Oh, like PHIAL? I think that is a word.
Yeah, I keep filling up the file, and I got 4 places to fill it up, and every time I fill it up, a house comes out of the ground, and
oh wow,
and I've got 4 out of the 5 houses, and but I can't find the 5th file.
That sounds like a really interesting dream.
So what are you thinking about?
I was just thinking about
how many houses
how
have
it's
you
really
found?
In my dreams?
Or yeah, because you're not playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck.
No, I'm definitely not playing Skyrim. Just thinking,
right.
Much like you.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking too. Like literally.
Nice. I was thinking about how important it is to pay your workers.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay if you sign a contract with people to pay them a certain amount of money. Then yeah, you should pay them that.
Absolutely.
So, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about going home for the holidays because I'm going home in a week.
Happy holidays to you, of course. Happy holidays to you from everybody here at EGI2, I'm thinking. Yeah, happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everybody from the EGI2 family.
Oh, thank you. Happy holidays. Back to you.
Back to you. Provo? Is your name Provo?
No, it's Kat.
Hi, Kat. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ithaca.
Ithaca, beautiful town up in the north. Kind of like kind of like Winterhold.
Yeah, kind of.
Or
yeah.
Solitude. But I think probably more closer to Winterhold because it's kind of smaller and a little bit more ensconced.
That's a word too.
Does town do you ensconce the town? I mean, are you?
No, I think you're ensconced in the town.
You're ensconced in the town. You're ensconced in Winterhold. I mean, I'm not in Winterhold because.
Right, because you're not playing any games.
Because I'm not playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Ithaca with you these days, Kat?
Not a whole lot. Doing a lot of thinking, and finishing school assignments, and that's about it.
Are you staying in Ithaca for the holidays, or are you going to be traveling elsewhere?
No, I'm gonna be going home. I live still in New York, but a few hours away in New York.
The other way?
Yeah, a few hours downstate.
Downstate. So how do you you can fast travel there? Can you fast travel from inside of your apartment?
I would love it if I could fast travel, but unfortunately I cannot.
Yeah, you gotta ride a horse.
Yeah, or a bus.
Until you. I mean, I think if you just visit it and you discover it, it's just added to your map.
Oh, well, I guess I will have to try that. I have not tried that.
Talking about paying workers, and I feel like there's a bit of a suggestion there that because I recall that there was an issue that Allan and I had about payments.
I do remember that. It got pretty intense, and I have to say, I'm on Allan's side.
Well, Allan's not coming, so you can't just automatically assume that this is all going to get resolved here because while I'm thinking on EGI2.
Right, but I don't know. I just think that Allan and the list and Luke and James, they all deserve to be fairly compensated.
Well, everybody deserves to be fairly compensated, especially the people that make EGI2 possible. But this is the rub, is that we need sponsorship for these kinds of things. So that's why we're taking as much of an opportunity as possible to remind people that we are sponsored by FrameGride, the arena mech action game for the Sega Dreamcast that came out of the turn of the 21st century. We are obviously not receiving any money from FrameGride, but we are using FrameGride as a launch pad of sorts to entice different potential sponsors, such as the people that make mini PCs or retro gaming handhelds, to send us free hardware, and then we'll do an unboxing and we'll test out different emulators and modern games and do benchmarks, and then we'll sell the mini PCs on eBay.
Nice. I think that sounds great. So once the FrameGride money starts showing up, then Allan and the list are gonna get paid. And are you gonna put that in writing?
Hold on.
Well, it was really fun thinking with you.
It's
really enjoyed the
thinking about you too. I've been thinking a lot about what you're saying. I'm not playing Skyrim, and I'm very happy that you called. And happy holidays to you and to everybody in upstate and downstate New York. So, thank you for your call, Kat, and please don't please quit calling because it does. What was that? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the chat right now and see if, cause it's easy to look at the chat because I'm looking directly with my regular eyes and I'm not hang on. I'm looking at the chat right now and it says that Robbie has not mentioned Gloomsbrook in the same. Well, we won't be mentioning Gloomsbrook. Adult Swim does own the rights to Gloomsbrook. It's not Gloomsbrook, of course. It's not the name of the game that I made up. It is in fact a name of a town inside of a game that I made up. So the idea is that perhaps there's a way to turn Gloomsbrook, the town Gloomsbrook, and spell the word differently and maybe rearrange certain things on the map. So you're on the air with EGI2, I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm doing a lot of thinking actually.
Oh, that's fantastic news. It's a wonderful evening to be. It's a wonderful holiday evening, of course, as the big day approaches. Santa Claus is gearing up to bring everybody things like pickaxes and ingots.
I would love that for Christmas.
And like different types of ore that you can use in the smelter at the Homestead House. Because here's the thing: is that most people, I think, can relate to this, which is that you've got you kind of go through a lot of the main quest stuff and the side quests, and you kind of hit a wall with what kind of armor and weapons you can actually find in places, and so it's you decide to see if you can make your own.
I've been
stuff.
doing a lot of thinking. I kind of closed my computer and turned off the light.
Right.
So.
That's hard to do because when I think, I like to think with my eyes wide open, and it's very easy to imagine all of the things that I like to think about when I do that, because when my eyes are open, my brain is also open.
Well, that's very interesting. For me, it's more of the opposite.
So when I'm thinking this way, I don't have to worry about my hands being in the frame of the stream. Most of the time I like to use my hands on the stream. I like to go like this, and maybe people will get excited to see where I'm pointing. But when I'm just thinking like this, it's to keep the hands down.
I like to turn off all the lights so I don't even see my hands. I like to board up the windows and turn off the power to my entire house so that nothing disturbs me.
Well, how do people see that your eyes are open if you do that?
Well, they don't. Sometimes I don't even know if they're open or closed. It's kind of a meditative state. And you can do a lot of thinking. My power's actually off right now. The boiler's off. It's getting colder.
Yeah, because your stamina is so low.
Yeah. But you have to have everything off for the most efficient thinking process.
Right.
Right.
Right, because you gotta. Yeah. So do you use potions to keep your stamina up, or do you kind of keep a lot of potions for magicka and health on hand in case you run out of magicka?
I like to keep a lot on hand.
Okay, keep a lot.
Like a lot.
Like probably like strength potions in case you're overburdened.
Oh yeah.
You can't run.
Yes, and
can't fast travel.
And just cheap health consumables. You just pop one after the other.
Right.
Right.
Right. So you're like you maybe you save before you go into a place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
I like
do
to.
that. Especially if you're playing on expert.
I mean, I like to spend a lot quickly to make up for the fact that I don't know how to play video games.
Right.
I just quickly spend all of my potions.
You just drop them on the ground.
Well, I like to use them sometimes.
Well, what?
Like anything that heals me or makes me stronger. Something that I can just like quickly use to make me seem better at the game.
Wow,
but I'm really not very good. Of course.
Yeah, it's hard to itch your face when you've got your hands.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty difficult because you think you don't quite understand where the strike boxes are. You know, I don't understand why certain things can hit me when I can't hit them.
Yeah. I prefer usually a ranged play style in most video games.
A vein play style, like a ore vein?
Well, a ranged play style.
Ranged weapons.
I wouldn't
like an ebony bow.
object to a vein play style though.
The problem is these ebony bows. They're good bows.
Ebony bows.
Yeah, the
They're
ebony
good,
bows
yes.
are good, but they I just didn't realize that I was going to be wanting to upgrade them. So I forgot where all the ebony ore is. So I'm just kind of hoping that, you know, I get into a scuffle with somebody over here and I just, maybe they've got some ore on him and I can use it in the smelter.
Are you going to be doing a lot of thinking about video game strategy?
Well, I don't strategize so much as I just kind of, you know, get bored doing main quests and side quests, so I just kind of try to figure out what other systems I can use.
Oh, that's just like me.
Wow.
We're a very similar play style.
I like that.
Yes, I like it.
So thank you. Who are you, by the way, and where are you calling from?
I forgot.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you for your call. Let's go ahead and hang up on you. But that was a very interesting conversation. I've had a lot of interesting conversations I wasn't expecting on having, because I did ask for people not to call the EGI2 I'm Thinking stream, which this is the first time I think I've ever heard of anybody doing this on twitch.tv/EGI_2 and maybe on the broader platform. Who knows? So if you're just joining us, my name is Robbie Rackleff. This is EGI2. This is a special program that we're doing outside of our main EGI2 streams, where I'm just going to be thinking for a while and taking ore to the smelter. And okay, so the ogre it's not an ogre, it's a giant. And
back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Allan. Oh, who?
Back to Allan. Is Allan
sorry,
back?
Allan's not coming. Who is this, and where? You're thinking. I'm
thinking it's Scott from Pittsburgh again, Robbie.
Scott, what's going on in Pittsburgh? What changed?
Well, one thing changed. I realized that I missed the Game of the Year awards last week, and I was wondering if we could recap.
Well, unfortunately, we can't recap that because that's all that is on a different computer that's not here. But I can try and recap it the best as I can, just from memory.
I think that would work.
Okay,
I think that would even be better.
We had the EGI2 2022 Game of the Year awards, and the Game of the Year award for most bumps went to Callisto Protocol. The Game of the Year award for most holes went to Scorn. The Game of the Year award for the best use of consonants in the main storyline went to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land walked home with the award for fewest appearances by Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the Game of the Year award was, of course, Gloomwood early access for Steam.
That just saved me so much time, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Scott from Pittsburgh. Since you are this is your second time calling in, have you had any time to think about where you would like to maybe where do you like to sell your, like, you get a lot of weapons, right?
You do get a lot of weapons.
So do you always? I tend to take them back to the same merchant over and over and over again.
I like to sometimes just find random chests anywhere and just leave all my weapons.
Leave all your weapons in the chest.
Every weapon.
But every single one you have. What do you use when you get attacked?
I like to rely on, well,
Spells.
just my
Shouts.
hands because self-weapons, and I also like to think most people just stay away because recently I've been self-diagnosed with Lynx disease.
What? Yeah, well, so this is an AdultSwim.com, so we don't have, if you, we might, you,
Then I wasn't diagnosed with
right, so you were
that.
probably diagnosed with vampirism.
Vampirism is indeed, you could see my confusion.
Right, yeah, because if you wouldn't be able to get into the Dawn Guard if you've got vampirism.
This is true.
Yeah. Oof.
Well, we want
right.
that.com to be mad at us.
Right. Or Dawn Guard.
I will be on the lookout for Allan. I won't be looking out for.
I've said that enough times, but Allan isn't going to be here tonight. We're just going to be doing some thinking. Not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking. So please respect me and.
I will respect
it takes a second
you.
sometimes to get the words to come out of my mouth when I'm. I do have to. Do that, don't I? Yeah, it's just tough.
Can we talk about the girl tied up in the corner of the second stream?
The girl what? Tied up in the corner?
And maybe I said too much.
All right. Well, thank you for your call, Scott, and happy holidays to you and everybody in Pittsburgh. Let's go ahead and take. I thought it was. You're on your EGI2. Hello. You're EGI. I'm thinking.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? Who is this, and where are you calling from, and what are you thinking about?
Hi, this is Perlane again. I'm calling from the not so sunny California right now.
Right, it's dark and it's dark, but your eyes are wide open.
Indeed, yeah. I am wide awake right now. Yep.
Okay, so what are you thinking about, Perling?
Not much. I'm trying to relax tonight because I've been doing a lot of work as of late, but thankfully I'm going to be taking a trip to Japan soon, so that'll be cool.
Oh, beautiful sunny Japan. It's always the land of the rising sun.
I'm not sure it'll be too sunny when I'm there, though, since, Japan gets quite a lot of snow during this time.
You see the snow. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to say it, but I do. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it, Skyrim.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I see it. I see where you're coming from.
How long are you gonna be going for? What places are you visiting?
I am going to be going for, I want to say about 2 weeks from right after Christmas to around the 10th of January.
Fantastic.
I'm planning
2 weeks is the correct amount of time. Is this your first trip over there?
Yes, it is my first ever trip over there. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be visiting Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, and Fukuoka.
Where's the last place?
In Japan.
No, but where is it? In the north?
I think. Let me double check. I'm not too read up on my Japanese geography.
If you just hit the B button, it'll open up your map, and you can use the triggers to sort of zoom in and out and see where it is.
It is in the southernmost. Fukuoka is in the southernmost island of Japan.
So it's kind of a more foresty area with maybe a small bit of prairie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be a good place to, if you're looking to get some ebony ore, that might be a good place to start looking.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, no, like, I'm sure that there'll be some good resources there when I'm there, you know.
Yeah, and the Thieves Guild is down there.
Oh, yeah. Shit, you're right.
Yeah, you can get. I think it's okay to get mixed up with them. They don't do unless they try to ask you to do something really cruel. I don't think that they do.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too. I mean, because yeah, you know, the guards will just start, you know, bugging you every time they see you out there in the.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with them. It'll just be kind of annoying.
Wilderness there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the advice.
No problem. I mean, it's pretty easy to get around. You just open up the map with the B button, and then you just move the cursor over to where you want to go, and then you hit A, and then just fast travel.
Yeah, thank God for fast travel.
You know, it would take you like 20 or 30 minutes to get from, you know, your
like
house
from
to
one side of
the
the
place
map
where
to
you can
another.
get a decent amount of money for these upgraded weapons.
Yeah, you're right. So, thank God the devs out of bad for sure.
Right. So
I
see a
again,
lot of people. I'm gonna go ahead and crane my eyes a little bit so I can see a little bit easier. These, of course, are these are the eyes that I'm looking at the chat with, and I see that a lot of people are talking about Allan and the issues that Allan is not here right now, and I just want to remind everybody that Allan's not coming tonight, and that I'm thinking, and please respect me, because this is a special stream just for thinking, and I want to thank Perling, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And have a wonderful trip to Japan. It's a great place. I've been there several times, and I can't wait for the next time I get to go back.
Thank you. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Perlin. So this is if you're just joining us, and I know that it feels a little strange tonight because I'm just thinking up here on the stream, not playing Skyrim, not doing anything, but thinking and just not asking for any phone calls. So please don't call, because I am thinking. Hello, you're on the air with EGI2. I'm thinking. What are you thinking about?
Hey, Robbie, I've been thinking.
Uh-huh.
I recently saw The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T for the first time. Very underrated film. And as I was watching it, like, I just started to think, like, there's a game in here somewhere, because there's this part
so
where
you
the
just said a
protagonist...
bunch of words I didn't quite catch, but I just want to say that if you're thinking about getting a Steam Deck, you said something about there's a number of fingers that you've been talking about. There's a lot of different things you can do with the Steam Deck with the fingers, and there's a lot of different pads. So if you wanted to just kind of, if there was a way to kind of have the Steam Deck sort of up in front of you instead of below you, that would be great.
I don't have a Steam Deck myself. Trying to save up for one, because it does look interesting.
Right.
But yeah, like I was, there's this one scene in the movie where the protagonist is like trying to reach this key that's embedded inside of a metronome.
Right.
And in order to get it out, he basically like taps on it in the same rhythm as the metronome while holding the little stick that makes it go to grab the key and prevent the villain who's sleeping beneath him to wake up. I'm like, that's a puzzle in like a Sierra game. Like that just feels like such a game element that it's just like, now I kind of want to see like a whole game based off of this movie. I know it's like over like 70 years old now, but like it's interesting.
Yeah, but things can be pretty good with if it's 7 years old, or if it's closer to if it's coming on 15 years old.
A 70. So this is like 50.
Right. Yeah. So 70 or 15. It's kind of the same thing, because things that are of good quality don't really age.
But yeah, it's
as long as the art direction is good and it's you're able to see far enough, then I think that's pretty good. Looks pretty good. I mean, even since what was it, 2011 to what year? 12 years.
Yeah, because it was done by Dr. Seuss. Like the art direction is very Seussian, and like that kind of landscape that would look good in like an. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about recently.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So get on that, and we'll, if you end up getting your
Steam Deck. 5,000 Fingers of Dr.
So you get the 5,000 Fingers of Dr. Seuss made into a game, and you're looking for a sponsorship opportunity, then I would point you to EGI2 here on twitch.tv/EGI_2, because we are, of course, open to any sponsor, whether it be a game or frame grind or a mini PC or retro gaming handheld.
All right, I'll think about that. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you.
It's Nathan. Not that Nathan.
Right,
one from Rollins.
Yeah, Doctor. Okay.
Dr. T.
Right, bye. So please don't call. This is EGI2. It's thinking time, and we're heavy into the thinking already. We've already been thinking for a good 90 minutes, so we're just going to keep doing that and plugging away at all the thoughts that we can possibly have in this wonderful holiday evening. Happy holidays to you from everybody at EGI2, especially me, Robbie Rackleff, who I'm not playing, who's thinking and not playing Skyrim on my Steam Deck. Thank you for your thoughts, and you're on the air with EGI2.
Hi, Robbie. This is Max. Hi.
Hey, Max.
I'm also thinking.
You're always thinking Max.
Yeah, Max from Germany.
From Germany.
Well, it's the middle of the night here. Yeah.
My goodness gracious! It must be a weird hour over there.
Yeah.
So Germany is an interesting country for a lot of different reasons we don't have time to go into, but I will say that it is wonderful to speak to somebody from the old continent at any time, whether it be the day or the night. And I wonder a lot about the German Alps these days, because I wonder if it looks anything like the game that I've been playing on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, could very well be. They could look white, I think, snow.
Maybe like some like gray with kind of weird rounded tops.
Yeah, could be. Yes, actually.
Well,
I haven't looked at them lately.
So what are you thinking about on this wonderful evening, Joe?
Max. Yeah, I was thinking about the video game Metroid Fusion from 2002.
For the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, right.
Bro.
And yes, and there was a spooky music in your stream, and the game was very spooky, and I thought it was more spooky than the old Super Metroid from the SNES. And the reason, I think, one of the reasons was because you could, in Fusion, you could hear the footsteps. And I think video games get a lot more spooky if you hear the footsteps accurate.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think it's a lot. It's the kind of thing when you're in the dungeon and you and someone's like, "Hey, who's that? Is there someone there?" And then you kind of have to crouch down, and that weird icon of the eye pops up.
Yeah.
Right, and then you move a little bit slower, but the eye kind of gets wider and smaller at the same time. I mean, not at the same time. Whether you're closer to getting caught or further away.
Yeah, that's also spooky. Yes.
So Metroid Fusion is an interesting game because everything that you just described is very spooky, very atmospheric, and of course it's got a wonderful art style. But I do find that the original Super Metroid is in fact a bit scarier, simply because the level of difficulty is so much higher. With those GBA games, you kind of they offer a decent challenge, but nothing quite like the original SNES one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's scary in a different way because you have in a Fusion game you have a lot more story and more linear, and this spooky SAX and
that's where you get the Dark Samus starts coming into play.
Yeah, right. And I think the boss fights are also a bit harder in Fusion, but maybe the other game is easier.
Well, I spent so so many years between playing Fusion and finally beating the Super Nintendo one. I gotta say, maybe the Super Nintendo one is just fresher in my mind, but I find especially the later bosses are quite difficult.
Yeah, could be, yes. Yes, anyway, I was just thinking about spooky video games.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the scariest video game that you ever play? I mean, when I talk about a scary video game, I'm talking about something that's, it kind of hurts to play. For me, it was a Fatal Frame 2.
Okay.
And that was, that's you play it and you're kind of visiting an old village and you got to take pictures of the ghosts, the Fatal Frame games, of course. Something about that game though just really just scared the Jesus out of me.
Yeah, it's a proper horror game, right?
Yeah, not super gory. It's not like crazy, like weird bubbly things like you get in the Resident Evil games. And not over, I would say, sometimes especially the newer Silent Hill games feel a bit overwrought, don't they?
I haven't played them actually, but yeah. I recently watched a YouTube channel called Alpha Beta Gamer, and he has plays indie horror games that are very short, just 1 hour or just half an hour long, and those indie horror games are way more scary than any other mainstream Silent Hill.
That's a great point, and I do think that if you're going to play a really scary game, maybe it's best to have it be an hour, because you don't want to keep going. I mean, that was the problem. It took me about a month to finish Fatal Frame 2 because I never wanted to play it. It was a great game. I was fully engrossed when I would play it, but I would think about going in there, turning off the lights, turning on the monitor, and just don't want to. I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So Max? What do you think? How did you find out about EGI2? Why did you decide? Why did you get up so early?
I can't sleep, and I did find out about it via YouTube.com.
Okay, great.
There was an information video, and I was lucky to see it in time because the announcement was quite...
I messed up that announcement video. There's nothing worse than baking a date into a video and then being running errands later and realizing you put the wrong damn date on it.
But I was catching it in time, and yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, Max, and I hope that you're enjoying everything this program is offering you, and happy holidays to you and everybody.
Yeah.
And what town in Germany are you in?
What time?
Town.
Town. Munich.
Munich. Beautiful city.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad lived in Munich when he was a boy. God, holy crow, man, that must have been crazy before, Steam Decks and Skyrim and all that. What the hell did you do with all your time?
One thing I was also thinking about, the stream is called EGI2, but...
EGI_2,
yeah, but I was thinking about AGI, and I was actually, because my mood was so spooky and was thinking about spooky games, I was a bit worried that we all die from intelligence in super intelligence in 10 years. Can you offer me some hope?
Well, sure, absolutely. Let me tell you this right now, the best thing you can do right now is travel the world, is do as many side quests and main quests as possible. Get your shouts all powered up with all the the dragon souls you can muster, and if that does mean tackling dragons many times over and over and over again, because sometimes the dragons do respawn in the open world, don't they? And if you do that and you get all your Dawn Guard credits up and you get your the ability to fly on the dragons, I think that we're going to be okay.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
All right, Max. Happy holidays to you and everybody in that beautiful town, that beautiful classic city. It's Munich, Germany, everybody. So I'm not playing Skyrim. just thinking and taking some time to myself. So please don't call EGI2 because I am just thinking and not playing Skyrim. So I see a lot of. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of arch my head up a little bit so I can see direct line to the chat that people are in fact talking again about Allan. And Allan is not coming tonight. It's just Robbie thinking on EGI_2. So please, I'm not playing anything. Please don't call. I'm thinking. Happy holidays. I'd like that. And back to you, caller. You're on the air with EGI2, and I'm in.
Hi.
Who's this?
This is Lex from Boston.
Hey, Lex. Hold on.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Right. So are you playing Skyrim?
I'm not.
Right,
I don't. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately.
It's a pretty interesting way to run a stream, isn't it? Because you expect EGI2, you see the EGI2, you think, oh, we're gonna get some news, maybe some awards, maybe from some free Steam keys.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's just thinking and not playing Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that you're an introspective fellow.
Right, because you kind of have to. You can't just walk out your front door and expect the world to act exactly as it worked when you went inside.
Yeah, you have to be adaptable.
You have to be adaptable. You have to keep in mind that giant is kind of over the second floor porch, and if you just kind of you can maybe weasel your way out of the area before it sets itself upon you.
Yeah, you have to be aware
yeah.
of your surroundings and the giant on the second floor porch.
Because you don't want to kill him right away. It's cruel.
No.
Not see attacks you or attacks one of the people who works on the homestead.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you just give me 1 second. If you're just joining us, this is EGI2, the thinking stream. It's if you're planning on going, if you were looking for a stream where somebody might be playing Skyrim on a Steam Deck, well, that's not what's happening tonight. We're just thinking and answering. Originally, I was going to think quietly, but then people kept calling, so I'll be talking to Lex from Boston.
Yeah, I was just wondering, why isn't Allan on the stream?
Right, so Allan's not coming, and happy holidays to you and everybody in the great city of Boston. But the fact of the matter is that Allan and I are doing our own thing for the next few days. So I needed to do something with the time, the 20 hours that Twitch has asked us to do a month. And since it is very difficult to put together the numbered streams with all the news and the slides and whatnot, I just figured that it would be easier to just do this on my own and not have Allan here, because Allan has a tendency to have expectations that cannot be met by me at this time.
Oh yeah, so what are those?
Right, so and you're from Boston?
Yeah, I'm from Boston.
Big union town. Okay, so this is Allan is, of course, he has been requesting that we do offer some sort of compensation for his work on EGI2.
Yeah.
And I remind him every chance I can that for me to be able to do that, the show has to be able to be a sustained effort. Right. And so for him to be a paid correspondent as opposed to special correspondent, Allan on the street, you have to imagine that there would be some sponsorship besides Frame Gride that would be coming in, that would be offering some kind of either financial inflows or perhaps like a mini PC or a retro pocket, handheld that could be unboxed and then resold once the unboxing video is finished. Because no one really has, people buy these handhelds, but nobody really Are people really playing them? I don't know. I mean, I'm, you know, besides obviously the big one, the smaller retro handhelds just don't seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it. I don't know if I bought Well, I wouldn't buy anything. They would send them to me, right?
Yeah, because it's a sponsorship.
And then I would use that to kind of help. And then
maybe you would also demo them.
Right,
you could like demo
them.
them.
I could put
you could promote them.
I could see which ones run Skyrim. I could see which ones run Gleam.
Absolutely. If you had sponsorships, would you? Yeah, well, obviously Frame Guide, right. Like 100%. But if you had sponsorships, would you pay? You know, would you pay Allan and maybe benefit?
We would work out a mutually beneficial agreement.
Yeah, do you have any agreements as of right now?
Anything in writing here, because well, I mean, we can't put anything in writing because there's nothing to put in writing because everything is so in flux. I mean, 5 days ago I was doing a fully fleshed out program, and now I'm just thinking.
You're just thinking, yeah.
I'm playing Skyrim, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, this is definitely a deep one. This episode, I gotta say.
Well, it's long.
yeah, but you're thinking.
Right. Well, I'm so thank you for your call. We'll go ahead and hang up on Boston, but happy holidays to everybody in Boston. I'm not playing anything. Please don't call. Allan's not coming. I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking about what the people in Boston were saying. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to be here by myself and be here with everybody that is in the chat. And Allan is yes. So I'm looking again. I have to kind of keep a direct line of sight to the chat and see what people are saying. Boston, happy holidays. Happy holidays to everybody else. There is no Allan. Allan is not coming in. Please don't call. And it is. It's easy to, to pick on me right now because we are in fact having a very long and thoughtful evening, and maybe there's things aren't working quite like you thought they would work, and maybe things aren't working quite like I thought they work. Because because they said I couldn't play a video game to make up for the 20 hours a month to get to that level. And I said, well, what if? And I didn't say this out loud, but I just thought to myself, well, what if someone was streaming and answering questions and thinking and being thoughtful, and if they were playing the Steam Deck in their hands when their eyes was looking at the camera, would that count? So this is going really good. I'm pretty happy about this. Happy holidays to everybody. I'm going to take a quick break right now and just kind of see if I can get my game save to reload Okay, we're back, and if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. This is not one of the numbered EGI2 streams where we have news and we have content. We have nothing like that this evening. We are, in fact, just thinking. I'm thinking, and I'm not playing anything on my Steam Deck, especially not Skyrim, so please respect me. Please don't call me over the next hour plus to make sure that we have a lot of things to talk about, because we don't need to talk about anything, because I'm in fact not playing anything. I'm just thinking, and this is EGI2, the show for thinking. And this is sorry, and Mike is quiet again. I'm seeing in the stream. Sorry, when I looked during the break, I had to look around the room a little bit more, and when I put the so sorry about that, the microphone and the thoughts. And I hope everybody's having a good evening. Thinking, I see Joe Botnick in the chat. Everybody say hello to Joe Botnick and Joe Botnick. Joe Botnick is from the UK, Max is from Germany, and we're having a great time shouting out to everybody on the planet. I'm thinking about... So if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. I'm thinking about all the possible sponsorships that we could be getting from different companies that make things like mini PCs or retro gaming handhelds that you can install RetroArch on, or that have, Garlic OS or something like that to make it easier for you to pick up and play and get into the games that you remember from perhaps your childhood, or maybe if you're a younger sort, then maybe your folks' childhood. The games that they want to share with you, and we don't have anything like that here on EGI2. We have the big one, but we don't have the we don't have anything that we can unbox. We don't have anything that we can sell on eBay after we do the unboxing video. So the only sponsorship that we do have is FrameGride for the time being. So congratulations to our continued EGI2 sponsor, FrameGride, the mech arena action game that has some sort of medieval flavor. The robots look like knights, and the knights it's night. So welcome to EGI2. I'm thinking, please don't call. And just to remind everybody that Allan is not coming tonight, because Allan and I are having a discussion that is taking a long time, and is not easy for him or I to finish the conversation sooner. Late. It's harder for me than it is for him. So the robot look, tenth of the truth says the robot looked like knights and the knights look like robots. Truer words were never said, especially when looking at those particular words in that order here on EGI2 on Twitch.tv. That's awesome. Dog Teeth says that's awesome, Robbie. It is awesome. Nights into Dreams? Question mark. Allan was in the chat, but he left. That back to you. Who unclean. So the idea of steampunk robots that look like knights does seem kind of cool, and it is cool. In fact, that's why we chose FrameGride to be the sponsorship going forward and forevermore, until we get, of course, potentially the small gaming PCs that are very that take a full size graphics card and a big processor, and they kind of jam them all together in a really small package, and put a big skull inside, or maybe like a special light to let you know when the machine is on. So that's the kind of thing that I would love to be unboxing here on EGI2. But until that moment where we start getting sponsorships from such companies as Minisforum and ANEO, then we will be sponsored by FrameGride. So I'm not playing anything. Goodbye. Please don't call me, and we're not going to be we're not going to be able to have a great deal of discussion during the stream, because of the fact that I'm asking people to not call me, and currently people are not calling me, and I think that's pretty impressive. I think everybody should be giving themselves a big pat on the back to themselves for not calling into EGI2 during the thinking stream, and making it easier for me to keep this splash image up and not play Skyrim, because I'm not playing Skyrim, I'm thinking. So good job, everybody. So I'm seeing something about whatever you do, don't call again. Robbie is not playing Skyrim. It's correct. I'm thinking and looking at the chat with normal eyes and with my eyes are wide open and seeing, and they see that I am having a bit of difficulty finding the 5th house. So if you're in the 5th, if you know where the 5th house is, don't tell me, because I do want to find the 5th house myself. I'm not, and on my own time, when I do get to play Skyrim on the Steam Deck, not on the stream, but in fact in private, because I'm not supposed to be playing video games on the stream, in this agreement that I have made with Allan, that I'm making a lot of conscious decisions this evening that are for the best of EGI2, the channel, and you're on the air with EGI2, and are you thinking?
Yeah, this is Nacho Cheese.
Hey, Nacho Cheese, calling in from Long Beach, California.
Yeah. I recently did some repair work on my Shivering Snowman yard inflatable because the motor broke.
Yeah.
And I'm not like an electrician or anything, so it's like the first time I worked with wires and wire connectors. And I plugged it in, and I didn't catch on fire, and I'm still alive, but I just can't stop thinking about, like, if it does catch fire, like, is it going to be okay? It's outside.
Right.
It's not, like, real close to houses.
Is it in brush?
No, it's just on grass.
Is your house made of wood?
No.
Is the grass dead?
It looks pretty dead, but it doesn't go away.
The grass doesn't go away?
So I don't know. It's like zombie grass, I guess. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't die. It turns, like, light yellow, but it doesn't go away.
Okay, so I would say maybe put some cinder blocks under that sucker in case of something, I would forget about it. It's fine.
That's like, I think that, I guess I just overthink it, because, like, I don't want it to catch fire, but I'm thinking, like, it didn't catch fire. It's lit up and the motor's working, so it works, right?
If your house isn't made of wood, it's not near, I'm guessing it's probably not near like a big window, is it?
No,
well,
it's near a brick wall.
It'll be a good story, and then you can have something when you go to a party or something like that for New Year's. Happy holidays, by the way.
Thanks, happy holidays.
You had something to talk about. Oh, the snowman caught on fire. See, with snowmen, I think it's difficult because there's snowmen and then there's frost trolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the frost trolls, they used to be a lot harder to track down, but now I feel like they're just all over the place.
Yeah, they're like really crowded in one area. It's like you get after one and then you walk a few feet and there's another one.
Yeah, and they're always hanging out. They're always hanging out by by fortresses.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
I just killed like 2 of them.
Right, and you just shout, and I just use, if I'm being completely honest, I just always position myself when I'm approaching a fortress, so I always got a good view of the cliffside, and I just, do the unrelenting force and send them over top, and then I don't have to worry about them anymore. But that does seem like there's a lot more than there was when I first booted it up.
That's interesting. Does it have anything to do with the difficulty?
It could be. I did when I did put the difficulty up to expert. I was on adept for a few years, but now it's on expert. I mean, I'm not playing Skyrim. I'm just thinking.
When you put it on easy, there's nothing.
There's nothing. I mean, what's the point?
It's nice to look at.
I mean, it would be a lot easier to play on easy if I were to be playing Skyrim right now on a Steam Deck. If you catch my drift.
Okay.
It would be a lot easier to do it on easy, because then I wouldn't have to worry about switching between two-handed weapons and spells. If you catch
That's why I like Oblivion, because you never have to switch. You can cast with R and hold your weapon.
But you don't have any shouts.
That's true.
And those shouts,
maybe the third installment will have shouts and casting while wielding weapons. That's what I want.
If you added, just hold on for a second.
All right.
Yeah, I'm literally thinking so hard right now. I'm not planning on thinking. I'm literally thinking so hard right now. And oh, yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, so what you were saying about the snowman is that the snowman's gonna catch on fire, but you've got a fire extinguisher in the house. I'm hoping.
No, but I have a hose, and I'm thinking if it catches fire when it's raining, doesn't that kind of take care of itself?
Right. Well, it's not exactly raining right now, is it, in Long Beach?
No.
I mean, you got the marine layer there, but can't count on that for much when it comes to dousing actual flames.
Yeah, all I really got is the hose.
Yeah, there's probably a connection here that I could be making to some sort of Skyrim spells, but I don't want to be banging on that too hard.
Yeah.
Because then that would imply...
Well, it's all hypothetical.
Right,
And hypothetical is like completely thought exercises.
Right, just thought
Yeah.
exercise because it's thinking. Because, like,
Yeah, banging on all cylinders.
So, Nacho Cheese, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you celebrating Hanukkah? What's going on?
We're flying out to Ohio for Christmas.
Beautiful
So it'll be
Ohio.
the first
I
time.
like that. I like that when people go to Ohio. I think Ohio is an underrated state. I think there's a lot of great cities in Ohio.
Yeah. Like, Parma,
Yeah, or like
Mansfield.
Where-
Mansfield's got the penitentiary.
yeah,
That was
White
pretty
Run's
cool,
got,
the reformatory.
Got, Denethor.
Oh, yeah. Denethor.
He's a,
Denethor. I don't like Denethor.
Well, you know, you gotta keep going. Well, no, it's I think it's Benethor. He's the guy that runs the general store in White Run.
Oh, I thought Denethor from, like, Lord of the Rings.
No,
because...
that's a different game.
Okay.
No, he never has enough money, and he's always trying to. He always says like, oh, what does he say? He says, do come back. I don't like
For
that.
what?
For
Like, you can't buy my stuff.
Because it's like, hey, I just bought a bunch of ore from you. I did something good for you. Drop some coin in your pockets. The next time I come back with some swords I can't use.
And you can't buy him because he's got no money.
Yeah, exactly. So and he's like, do come back.
Maybe he's got a skooma problem.
Right.
Yeah, I heard skooma's kind of a thing with some towns. Completely overrun with skooma.
Right, or skeevers.
Skeevers, oh man. That's the word.
Yeah, Ohio is a tough little province there. It's got, it's right down there it's sort of like in the middle. There's a few towns, but there's not a ton of towns. There's mammoths and giants and a lot of bandits.
Yeah. So you gotta stay off the main road.
The bandits, you take out you want to clear out a bandit fortress, of course, because you've got to just make it seem, you got to do the right thing, because you don't want those bandits tackling other NPCs and, giving you some sort of like weird story arc that you come across later on in the game, in the Ohio, and, be responsible for some kind of a tragedy. I mean, I don't know if that's how Ohio works, but the fact of the matter is that is how I would prefer to act if I was in Ohio.
Yeah.
And so you always clear out the bandit camps, but they never have much. Sometimes they have some nice arrows, and sometimes they have some nice ingredients, but they rarely have anything really worth traveling with. And at this point,
True.
You're just not getting enough experience. It's
Yeah, you have to clear out, like,
it's a drop in the bucket.
You gotta do, like, what is it, the mausoleums? Are mausoleums in Skyrim? Or is that...
It's not Skyrim, it's Ohio. We're traveling to Ohio for the holidays, and it's, of course, I think you're talking about the mountain fortresses, which have a different, I don't remember what those exactly are called, but those are the kind of the longer dungeons in Ohio.
The dwarven...
Yeah, you can't... Not sure
fortresses.
what happened. I bet if I read up on it, if I really read, because you do pick up a lot of books when you're in the dwarven ruins in Ohio, that.
Yeah.
But all they have is their little automaton thing.
Automatons, the
the rollies.
Oh yeah, I hate those things.
Yeah.
They always sneak up on me somehow. I don't get it.
They're always dropping out of pipes.
That's how they do it.
So, how long are you going to be in Ohio for? And are you visiting your family or your partner's family?
Visiting my partner's family. We're going to be there for Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
And we're taking our cat. And I'm really worried about that.
Oh, well, we had to... Oh, we've traveled on the airplane with our cat before.
He's never been anywhere.
Well, if you get some sedative from the doctor, from the vet doctor, from the cat doctor, and make sure you try it out first, because we didn't try it out first, and we thought we might have accidentally ended the cat when she went on the airplane, but in fact she was just sleeping. She just had it was just a bit more intense than we expected with the sedatives, so we probably could have given her a lot less.
Oh, I didn't know that they had those for cats. I know, you can give dogs Benadryl.
You got to get like a little chit to take on the plane with you sometimes if you're gonna carry the cat in the cabin.
Ah.
I mean, I would just skip the flight and just fast travel.
Yeah, I wish I could. I don't think I can do that. I don't know the points. I don't have the discovered points yet.
Just walk there, and when it adds to your discovery, when the little icon on the map goes white, then you can fast travel there whenever you feel like it. But apparently not from the inside of your house.
Yeah.
So happy holidays to Nacho Cheese. Thank you for your call and your interest. You've given me a lot to think about. What a wonderful conversation we just had about different ways to enjoy the holidays in Ohio. We're on the air with EGI2. This is the thinking stream, and we are looking for. We're not playing. We're looking. We're moving things around, and the buttons are where they. So everything is working really well. Skyrim is not being played. I'm asking for people to continue to keep thinking about things that they would like to talk to EGI2 on the stream about, but if you don't call in, you're not going to be able to talk about it, but that's also what I'm asking people to do. So it is a little bit confusing, isn't it? You're on the air with EGI2.
Oh, hi. It's Jan. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me fine?
You're coming through loud and clear, Robbie.
Right. And you're not playing.
And I just wanted to say,
Skyrim either.
I'm not playing Skyrim.
Great.
I'm not playing any video games. I'm not allowed to right now.
Okay. Well, if is the problem that maybe you don't have a small enough PC with a small enough form factor?
You know, I did consider that, but I want to toe the line. I don't want to break the rules to do that.
Right.
Given my I'm just in a certain place right now. To catch the drift.
Right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from upstate New York. I'm in a special machine place, and I'm surrounded by wires and tubes.
Like dwarf ruins?
It's actually kind of a lot like a big old dwarf fortress. It's like a big. I'm
dwarf?
kind of in one of those workshops right
dwarf
now.
Fortress?
You know, the 3x3.
3x3.
The 3x3 tile.
Yeah, dwarftress.
Workshop. Yeah.
Oh, man. So you're not playing Skyrim. You are surrounded by pots and pipes.
Yeah. Wires and pipes and pots and pans.
Right.
And
so you're picking up
gewgaws and
carrots
frames and
potatoes
LEDs
and maybe
and
snowberries.
I'm running around.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm walking around. I don't know. I've been thinking a bit.
Okay.
Not that much.
Well,
but I did want to say that
hold on.
I I did want to say that I'm a huge fan, Robbie, and I'm happy to be on the show.
Thank you. This has been a wonderful evening so far. We're over 2 hours into the stream. I'm listening so hard at every moment of the stream, and it's been great to hear what other people are thinking about, even though I did ask for people not to call in. And they call.
Oh man,
but they call in.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that I promised not to call in.
Yeah, and it's fine because it is adding to, I think, the ambiance of the stream, which is otherwise, normally we have, different graphics and we have different segments of the show, but this is just 3 straight hours of just honest to God thinking.
You're goddamn absolutely right, Robbie, and I respect the hell out of that.
I respect the hell
Although
out
I
of it
do want to
too.
say that. Thank you.
And
I
happy holidays.
I actually agree with you.
In upstate New York.
Happy holidays, Robbie.
You were saying something?
What was I saying something? Oh yeah, I was kind of looking forward to the idea of just I thought like it was just sort of 3 hours of you just silently thinking
right
what was going to be pretty interesting.
And like
so it is a little bit rude that people are calling in, even me.
Right.
I have qualms with that. Everyone I think should have a couple qualms with their own behavior. I think it's natural.
Psalms.
And should maybe read or even write a couple songs sometime.
Yeah, so you write a couple songs on little pieces of paper and leave them in pots or pipes.
That's right. Yeah, write little songs, but you don't want to creep anyone out.
Right, and you
doing that. So do it with respect.
And it's weird that you can put all those little pieces of paper on your bookshelves, but they don't. That they take the same amount of space as like a normal book.
If I thought about that a lot more, I'm sure that I would understand how true it is.
Right.
I did have a thought related to video games, if you'll hear me out.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, they came out with that new Fortnite Lego game. And I tried it for a second, even though it didn't look that exciting.
Right.
And God damn it. I think I was right, and I think that it's interesting and it's neat, and we're living in a world of new games right now, but I just don't want to collect wood anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sick of running around.
You shouldn't have to collect wood. They should allow you to just like grow a big grove of forest right by your house. That's the problem.
That's right.
That's the problem is that they don't allow you to plant very much. I mean, you can plant like pretty small. You can plant like ninroot. I mean, that sucks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't suck that you can plant.
Yeah, I totally forgot that you're not playing Skyrim.
Right. I'm thinking.
You're thinking.
Right.
Anything else on the mind, Robbie?
I'm just wondering where. So it's I've just had it's one of those been having. Been having a lot of dreams throughout the stream where I'm dreaming with my eyes wide open that I'm being chased by one of these those kind of high vampires, because I'm still messing around with because they just randomly attack you when you start entering into the Dawn Guard side missions.
I've been randomly attacked by high vampires entering some Dawn Guard side missions myself.
Yeah, so it's hard.
And I don't even play that much. I don't even play that much Skyrim.
I feel like I don't quite understand how far they can shock me with their or drain me. So when I see one of them, especially if I've got a familiar, but she's not a familiar. She's more like a partner, and she keeps getting knocked out of the game before the fight even starts, and so I just start running and get we got fast healing in both hands and try to get the hell out of there before they can get me. Maybe get into some kind of but it just can't get away from it fast enough.
Well, I think that you can always rely on the abilities of your compassionate heart and soul, and the power of kindness, and to run faster away from the vampires,
right,
and keep your companions safe.
And I thought that if I put the difficulty up to expert, I could level up faster, and I could get to the point where I could actually have 2 conjured creatures at the same time. So I have a flame Antrock and the Bone Man, but I can't have them both. I don't
see a reason not to.
But you really gotta grind with the dream when you're dreaming on this, when you're stream dreaming.
Well, I mean, the problem is, Robbie, I think at the heart of it is you're not modding your dreams.
Right, I'm literally just
thinking about it. You're literally just thinking about them, and if you do good stuff, then it's good.
Yeah, right. So if you do good stuff, then you get better prices in towns. Thank you for your call. This is, if you're just joining us, you are you're at a special place. I'm not playing anything. I'm thinking here live on EGI2, twitch.tv/EGI2. It's not normal. It's not your father's or your mother's EGI2. It's an all new EGI2 stream where I'm like thinking so hard the whole time and not using this as an excuse to just play Skyrim on my Steam Deck. I'm just taking this moment by moment, hour by hour, craning my head extremely naturally in ways so I can keep an eye on the chat and ask people if they are seeing what I'm seeing. And of course, if you're watching EGI2 and you just don't call, but and Allan's not coming. I'm just thinking, and this is EGR2 thinking. We're just thinking about what we're gonna do next time. Because we won't be able to do a full stream at least until the 21st of December. So we have to get to 20 hours a month, and they won't let us play video games on twitch.tv, so we are going to be just figuring out different unique ways to expand our content and explore the possibilities of the platform. So you're not supposed to call, but you did call, and you are on the air with EGI2, I'm thinking.
Hi, I'm also thinking, but I also didn't call, just like how you're not playing Skyrim. Right now.
That's a really interesting. I really love the thought process here behind what you're saying, because that would mean that if you're not calling, and I'm not playing Skyrim, then the possibilities are just completely. We don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
Or at least
exactly.
The time being.
So are we even really here?
Right.
That's
I mean,
the big
are we
question,
even?
right?
And because we're definitely going to get to the 20-hour mark from Twitch this month. So. If this just in that Twitch has agreed to give us a few some perks for this, and status perks as streamers for EGI2 if we do 20 hours a month, and as long as we don't do gaming. But since I'm not doing gaming, I'm thinking, and since our caller is not calling, then we are completing a kind of a cycle.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And the cycle
so while you're
continues
not
on
calling,
and on
I'm
forever.
not going to be looking for that 5th house, because I really hell yeah, I've had some more. Oh, I already got this vein. So what's on your mind, not caller?
I have a lot of things that are not on my mind.
Right.
One of the things that's not on my mind is sandwiches.
Sandwiches?
Another thing, sandwiches. Because I'm sandwich.
Oh man, I'm pretty hungry too. I've been doing this for a couple hours now. I forgot to eat dinner. I had
Yeah, you got to take care of your work-life balance,
Right. Yeah, Katie was gonna bring me some food, and I said I can't eat it right now because I got to start thinking.
Right. Yeah. Thinking is. You know what?
And it's like
How about
you
this?
gotta use both.
Since
You gotta
we
use
need to
both hands
think.
when you think, and it's impossible to think and eat on the stream.
Yeah. True. Yeah. You're so right. And in fact, because we need to think, and since you're having such a hard time thinking, I was wondering, maybe we should take a moment to breathe and not think.
Right.
And maybe the thinking will happen.
Recharge. Get your stamina back up. Get your shouts back up.
Yeah,
Recharge.
exactly.
Yeah, got it.
You got to get your mana back
mark
up.
for death.
Get your stats up. Before you get that big goal.
Well, the stats stay the same until you level up.
Well, yeah, but you can do that. Through the meditation.
That's why I've been so obsessed with thinking about getting all the ore from the different There's one that I can't remember the name. Hold on.
I hear some not thinking going on.
Yeah. Hold on.
Good. What am I supposed to hold on to? Here, let me hold on to this table.
Corundum ore. I think that's what the dwarves use to make their little balls that turn into knights.
I see.
I think that's what their corundum ore. It's you gotta. I don't want to go back into. I don't want to keep going back into the dwarf dungeons because they're pretty empty at this point. I think I've pretty much eliminated every vestige of the dwarfs' security systems.
Sounds like you're ready to go on another adventure.
Yeah, or I could just kind of hang around my house and like move books around.
I mean, you could do that, but what books do you need to move?
Oh well, I got all like the history books, and you get like most of them like 5, some of them like 8 volumes long. And I don't have them in order, and it kind of bugs me because every time I want to show somebody my library, and I don't mean when I show anybody because I wouldn't but you know what I mean. And it's it just looks pretty sloppy. I feel like the rest of my house is really well organized.
Have you read them all?
No.
You haven't?
I thought about
Oh, man.
every time I think about reading them. Well, the problem is that on the Steam Deck, sometimes the books turn out a little pixelated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, how hard it is to read.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, how hard it is to read in general, or just how hard it is to read?
Well, it's hard to read in general.
The
Yeah.
pixel.
So here's a fun fact about me is that I didn't really even start reading books until I was about 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, good on you.
Yeah,
you read.
I mean, I could read, but I just didn't want to. And then I was, got to finish high school, got to college, and was surrounded by all these really smart people. And I was just like, holy crow, I'm an idiot. I gotta
Wow.
fix
No,
this.
you're not an idiot. You're a go-getter. Look
Yeah,
at
I
you
mean,
go.
obviously, I've grown a lot. I've come far from the old days in the highways and byways of Tallahassee, Florida, and now here I am on twitch.tv/EGI_2 I've been thinking for almost 2.5 hours, and I've committed to at least, because we started a little bit late, so probably around 10:15. So life is going pretty good, and if you are watching this stream and you are looking for a stream to sponsor, and we would like to extend ourselves to anybody who would like to sponsor EGI2, we are currently using a placeholder, which is Frame Gride, an old Dreamcast game that nobody has played, except for the one person who made a English language patch recently. And we are looking to get people to send us things in boxes, and we'll unbox them, and then that'll be fun, and you get to see people interacting with your product, and then we'll sell the product later on eBay or Craigslist, and then use that to pay for the stream.
What if I sponsored you with cute drawings?
That would be
Sandwich Patch Productions.
On our numbered streams, which we will be having another numbered stream soon. I do promise that once Allan and me figure out exactly what it is that he knows that he wants, that we will be doing another EGI. We'll be streaming again, and we'll be doing an It's the Arts section in that stream, and it's gonna have to be long.
Yeah, but you know what? You're doing great,
Yeah,
just happy
looking
not
good, feeling
thinking with
good.
you for a minute there. framing grides and, not grinding our frames.
Yeah,
so,
not playing Skyrim, not playing anything. Just on here on the
Yeah.
chat thinking.
Just thinking.
And just playing Skyrim on my Steam Deck.
Cool.
So,
Sounds great.
Quick shout out to wherever you're calling from.
I'm calling from the fridge.
The fridge.
Yeah. Definitely calling from the fridge.
Wait, that's like a
I'm
nickname
Sandwich.
for something, isn't it? Isn't it a nickname for like upstate
No, it's
Michigan
an
or something?
actual stainless steel fridge.
Is it
Samsung,
Samsung fridge?
10-year warranty.
So wireless.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard.
Yep. It's a hard life.
Yeah, but you got to do it because you got to grind on the stream. You got to get the sponsorships. You got to happy holidays to you in the fridge.
Yeah, thank you, man. Same to you. Keep being a go-getter, Hope you can, mend whatever situation's going on, find some compromises.
Right.
Be good to each other
Right.
this holiday season.
Yeah.
And eat a sandwich. But not me, because I'm a sandwich. But I'm not that
You're
kind
the
of
sandwich.
sandwich. Yeah, I'm
What?
the sandwich. I'm the cute sandwich.
The
so
cute sandwich.
yeah,
All right,
Hawaii
I gotta
sandwich.
go because my neck hurts and you're confusing the hell out of me. Okay, so this is EGI. If you're just tuning in, and you might be just tuning in because this is a long form platform where people don't have real shows; they just kind of hang out. So we're just hanging out on the stream, thinking about how much my neck hurts and how it's very easy to just come up with an idea and execute it, and then you have to follow through with it. And that's the hard part, is the following through. But it's easy to follow through with a lot of other things as long as you're entertained, but it's difficult to stay entertained when you are distracted by the fact that you can't be doing the thing that you really want to do on the stream, and in fact you have to be on. You have to play by the rules. So we're playing by the rules. This is EGI2, EGI_2 on Twitch.tv, coming to you live from beautiful Highland Park, Los Angeles, California. And we are just grinding away, having a great time. Please don't call, but if you do call, well, then we'll have a conversation, because I'm not willing to leave people out in the cold, especially during the Christmas holiday rush. Everybody's been working so hard this year trying to make up for the fact that that a couple years ago your streaming shows got canceled, and then all of a sudden you had to scramble and do a bunch of hack work that you're pretty good at, but it leaves you wanting a little bit more. So you take the first opportunity you can to find some new method for growing. Again, this is EGI2 sponsor Frame Guide. If you are looking for EGI2 to sponsor, then look no further, because we do have a current sponsor, but it is in fact the temporary sponsor until we get a sponsor that can actually pay for the things, the content that we're going to be putting out. This is my favorite EGI2, says Turbo Zoerger is in the chat saying, this is my favorite EGI2. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself. This has been a really eye-opening experience for me, because I am understanding the limitations of what hands and eyes can do. Okay, Princess924 says, I'm literally a sponsor by subscribing. And that's a good point. We do have subscriptions that are making their way through the pipe, but the fact is that Twitch for some reason has put a hold on the payouts, so we have not been able to pay anybody, including myself. So that is why we're just plugging away, creating a great deal of thinking content for the stream, and of course not playing Skyrim or anything game related, or we're not playing anything on the Steam Deck. So please go ahead and take a break. So welcome back to EGI2. We're streaming. We're thinking. We're doing some kind of. We're checking out the chat right now. Chunky Flan. Robbie says the money for subs hasn't come through yet. Chunky Flan is correct. Have you talked about when you get the payoff? We have not. Once Allan is ready to talk tonight, Allan is not coming, I'm thinking, and we are not going to be worrying about the finances until the money comes through in one way or the other, which is one of the reasons why we're reaching out to potential sponsors such as FrameGrud and any other people that make mini PCs or retro gaming handhelds. So, Giovanni H, is there a way we could directly send you money or boxes of computers? There's a way to do it, but unfortunately, right now we're a little bit in between. We're in between studios. We're in between headquarters. So we have one headquarters that's. Okay, so I forgot to put up the background to let you know that there's a headquarters, and it's that's a very interesting thing to find out several hours after the stream has already started, but it's enjoyable to just be here with you thinking and not taking any calls, so please don't call. You guys have been doing a great job for the last hour or so, and I assume that that's because most people that started watching the stream and heard me say don't call, they listened to what I said, and they are doing correctly. They are correctly following the instructions for the stream, and they are having a wonderful. I'm patting themselves on the back, and you should, because this is what I told you to do, and you're not doing it. So please don't call. You did call, and you are on the air with EGI2.
Robbie?
This is the thinking stream, sponsored by FrameGride and EGI in Twitch. On Twitch.
Robbie.
It's on Twitch. Who's this?
Robbie, this is Al. This is Alvin. from Highland Park.
Alvin from Highland Park. What's going on? What's the plan? What are the thoughts? I feel fully warmed up.
I'm not watching Robbie.
Right.
I'm a big fan of you and everything you do at EGI1 and EGI2.
Right.
I absolutely want you to know that I value you as a viewer and a fan.
Right. Happy holidays to you, Alvin, and I'm assuming that if you're in Highland Park, that you're in the suburb of Chicago, Highland Park, instead of the Highland Park in beautiful Los Angeles.
Yes.
Correct.
That is right. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Alvin.
I just want you to know that I'm not watching the stream.
Right.
And I am not, but I am thinking about things that are important to me. I miss you, and I care about you, and I do love you. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Alvin. So it's very difficult to hear this voice and not have some wonders about if the voice could be used for good instead of confusion and strife.
Well, Robbie, I don't understand the question. It doesn't make any sense to me. The words that you said don't make sense to me about my voice, something about my voice. But I'm happy to just talk to you and hear your voice. I do like the sound of your voice. It is a very nice voice indeed. Back to you, Robbie.
Well, it can be a difficult voice to hear when I'm using the unrelenting force spell from the dream that I'm having.
I don't understand. My understanding is that you're having a dream about using a spell. I'm not watching the stream, so I don't know if you're playing Skyrim. But it does. I don't think you are. I think that's. I think I understand that you're having a dream, but you're not playing a game.
Yeah,
you're just
thinking about like what I'm supposed to be doing with the rest of the time that we have on EGI2.
I understand that. I'm just happy to see that so many people have subscribed to your show, and you have so many subs, and you have so many followers, and I guess my main hope is that a little bit of the income that you get from your monetizing the content, the great content that you've done for so many years. I hope some of that trickles down to your friends, even if your friends aren't as talented as you, they don't do as much as you. I still think they contribute, and they deserve some of the bits and bytes and monetization because content is king.
So, Allan from Highland Park, Illinois, this is if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. We are sponsored. This is it's hard to do the EGI2 because we do have. It's hard because normally there's a number of people that keep the show working, and right now it's just Robbie, and he is being asked to create content that is long. But if you're this is Alvin from Alvin. Happy holidays to you and to everybody else in Highland Park. I want to just say that I like what you're saying. I like that very much, and it is important to me that people do make money off of their labor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're making, but the problem with that is that the money it takes 45 days for the money apparently to make it from buttons and bits to pockets. So we're all sacrificing, which is why we've been plugging the frame guide for so long and for so hard.
Right.
And some of us don't have the ability to make candle holders of a certain nature.
Right. My understanding is there's a contest going on EGI2. If EGI2 gets 1,000 followers, you're 188 followers short. One of the subscribers will get a sexual candle. Because Allan, I have watched the show. Your friend Allan,
right.
who's not me.
Right. Of course.
He does make. He's an incredible artist, and he does make beautiful, very erotic sexual candle holders of artistic value. And you're gonna be giving one away. That's my understanding. I'm Alvin.
Right. So Alvin, thank you for your call.
Mm-hmm. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Alvin, and thank you for that, because I did need to readjust the eyes for a second so I can get a better positioning here, so I can be doing the thing that I'm not doing. I'm making.
But you do. I have
right.
a question, just a caller question.
Right.
I am a caller, and I'm questioning a question about just the nature of this stream.
Yeah, so it's been
because
going on for 2.5 hours, Alvin. So if you have a question, let's just keep it cordial.
Okay, I will keep it cordial. It's a question about the Steam Deck, because you're not playing. I know that you're not playing it now, is my understanding, but you do have one.
Correct.
And my understanding, those are very hard to get. They're very expensive, especially
right.
the OLED one. I
right.
heard is in high demand, and it is quite expensive. And I know that when you monetize, when there's monetization involved in streaming content, you say that there's some sort of delay in funds being acquiesced from corporate to account to
right.
Creator account.
Right.
And I'm just curious how you had the funds to get the Steam Deck.
I was able to leverage some I was able to leverage some accounts, Alvin, to ensure that we did have. I think what one of the things I got crossed was I thought I was getting a Stream Deck, which is of course the thing that I use to trigger graphics that say things like I'm literally thinking, I'm not playing. I also happened to buy a Steam Deck because I thought the Steam Deck did the same thing, but in fact it is a different thing that plays Skyrim.
Okay, and it can't be returned or sold for capital.
You wouldn't want to return it because it's a thing that plays Skyrim, and if you haven't finished Skyrim, like so many people out there haven't finished Skyrim, then it's a good investment in the future of your Steam library. Library.
Okay.
And I like that.
It sounds so fun, and I do wish
it's fun to play Skyrim on the go.
I would love to have something like that of my own, or play with something like as fun as that.
Right. So as soon as the money is not caught up in the current accounts, then I'll be reaching out to, of course, a friend of the show, Allan Resnick, and to other people who work on the show to ensure that we do get some type of a stream going that has, sections and is where different people work on it to make it so one person doesn't have to hold the whole program up on their eyes.
Mm.
If you if you catch my drift.
You're the economy expert, Robbie,
You're
so
the
I just trust you implicitly.
We have if you're just tuning in, Alvin from Highland Park is the economy expert, and he's the one that's
Chicago.
He's Chicago. Chicago is, of course, the windy city that never sleeps, and Alvin is the mayor of that city on the stream, because on the stream you can do whatever you want, and you can say that you're the mayor, or you can say that you're other things. You can also just think on for 3 hours, and you can, because no one else is helping you to create the content.
Mhm.
And everybody that is involved in the main streams for EGI2 is, of course, they are welcome to take what labor they can. Even though we're unable to be fully flushed with money from.
You're not liquid.
We're not liquid. We're extreme. We're some might say we're as tough and as rugged as a candle holder that someone gets to sell, because he's good at making physical objects and is able to make a living off of that.
I don't think he makes a living off of it. I don't know. I haven't checked on. I don't know the analytics on Allan's finances I think that's what you're talking about, but I don't think he makes a living off of it. I think it's more just a passion project. Something he's passionate about. He does for fun, to get pleasure out of it, and he wants to share pleasure.
Yeah, I'm thinking so hard about that.
To you, Robbie. I'm just happy to hear your voice. I'm not watching the stream. I'm boycotting it in solidarity with Allan. And
yes, of course, I understand I understand the implication here, and I'm just wanting to say to you, Alvin, that it is important that we keep a respectful, that me and the people who are having difficulty understanding where they fit into the financial picture, keep a respectful distance at this time while we understand the near term.
I hear you. I think I understand what you're saying, but even though the words are confusing, I'm happy to be the mayor of Chicago in the chat, and I'm not actually even in the chat. If I was, my username would be something fun like Alvin EGI fan too. And I'm gonna go to the the shiny bean in Chicago.
Right, because you gotta get a picture with that bean, because it's the holidays. So happy holidays to you and everybody in the suburbs of Chicago.
Absolutely, and happy Chicago holidays to you.
Happy Chicago to you, Allan. So back to you, Alvin.
Back to you, Robbie. I'm gonna go you do deep dish pizzas and do bean stuff.
Yeah, and ride the elevated the loop.
Yes, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be taking. I'll play Watch Dogs. I'm going to take improv classes in Chicago. Back to you. I'm going to go now. Goodbye.
Back to you. So that was friend of the show, Alvin from Highland Park, Illinois. Allan's not coming, and I like that because it makes it so him and I have some space while we figure out how we're gonna make the show work in future. Until then, we will be continuing to offer you different types of long form content that only Twitch has the platform that makes it possible to do the things that no one else is doing they say that we can do it, and apparently we'll make some money at some point, but until then we'll just be figuring out different kinds of long things that take a long time, but also guarantee that you will have a rewarding evening if you decide to tune into us. So back to you, Allan. Alvin. Back to you. The battery died. So if you're just joining us, this is EGI2. We are not taking calls this evening, or we are taking calls. So if you do call, I will take the call, but because I don't leave people stranded out in the cold, I do pay people when the finances do make sense. And if I have to front load the if the infrastructure isn't there, you make the infrastructure. So that's You're on the air. You're on the air with EGI2. We're not taking calls, but you're on the air.
Hey, well, thanks for not taking my call. This is Nathan Vegetable.
Nathan Vegetable, wonderful to have you on the show. You stuck with it for almost the full 3 hours, and you found yourself face to face with the man with the voice.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Well, not a sort of. So there's apparently there's been some confusion, and maybe you could clear that up.
The what?
There's been some confusion, and maybe you could clear that up.
Sure.
So, go.
So I don't really know, but I do think that there's arguments for both sides, and there's just things. Sometimes you got to be diplomatic. I mean, I think it's good to take a side, but sometimes you want to just be right down the middle and please everybody.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not. So
I don't want to disagree with you, right, but I don't want to just say that you're absolutely right.
So let's just say that my dream machine ran out of batteries. Ran out of dream thoughts, like electricity.
Right.
That is used to charge batteries. So now I'm trying to. Now you got to plug it in.
Right. Usually you lay down and close your eyes a bit, and that. I mean, I suppose you're saying that you're already in that state, and it's depleted.
Right. Right. So, but now it's plugged in, so now I'm back on a waterfall.
Okay, that's
right,
good.
So I'm gonna run over the waterfall, and hopefully this thing doesn't clobber me to death when I go down it, because sometimes you find stuff.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Nathan Vegetable, you're calling, of course, from Long Beach, California. We know this about you. Why don't you go ahead, if you're since you have been so patient with the stream this evening, that if you could just tell everybody what's been happening while I just kind of get back.
I do have some thoughts.
Before the battery died.
I have been thinking about some things.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about. Recently, I tried playing Lord of the Rings: Return of the King for PS2.
Absolutely, great game from Snowblind Studios, the wonderful people that brought us the Two Towers and Forgotten Realms game Demon Stone.
Yeah, for the good parts are really good, but one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of things with modern games that I just totally take for granted. On quality of life. One thing I noticed was near the beginning there's a sequence where you're running away, right, and you're on a timer, right? And it doesn't tell you where to go, there's no indication, and the 3D environment is pretty bad at communicating where to go.
Right, 'cause you're probably,
and the camera is
Shelob's Lair or something.
Right, and the camera it's static, right? They don't turn around you or anything. It's just and it keeps popping in different directions. That's one thing that I really forgot about with old games, was that the camera is just an unwieldy beast.
Well, they were trying to save on horsepower with the. They were trying to save on horsepower, so they, but they wanted to have the character models look as close as possible to the actors in the picture. So they locked you into a pretty narrow corridor and some pretty primitive geometry, which is something that we were talking about earlier. I don't remember exactly what we were saying about it. We were talking about it's like primitive geometry related to like what we're doing with this stream.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. That like it definitely did a good job of like say the alternative is like Gauntlet, right? And then like you can't really see the characters.
Right.
And
unless you press the left thumbstick, and then you can kind of like rotate the camera around and see what it's.
Right, but like yeah, there's not really that. It did do a good job of like putting you in the action, but it's just a struggle getting through some of those like 3D environments where things you just you're used to just working just didn't work then.
So what did we learn here tonight, Nathan Vegetable?
I learned that you are able to maintain long conversations while thinking of other things at the same time.
Right. And so if anybody from Twitch were to email you and say, hey, I wanted to check in on the stream and see how it was going, you would say, oh yeah, it was great, he thought the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I was paying full attention 100% of the time, and my engagement levels are very high. Like if I'm not using an ad blocker, I sat and watched every one of the ads.
Were there ads for like Frame Grade?
Yeah, like the sponsor. Yes, that's the one. Right. So I'm watching them. I think that they have some good ads.
So we learned that it's difficult to do this, to think and not take calls. That if you're gonna do the thinking, then you should probably say that you're gonna take calls.
I think
because
this went well regardless.
So do you think this went really well? So you're gonna tell people, you're gonna go to your job tomorrow, and you're gonna say, yeah, I stayed up and I watched him think, and he gave us a lot to think about, and he responded to questions that he tried to get people to not ask him. And that felt like a proper use of the time that I have on this mortal plane.
Well, if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be here.
Right, of course, because we're all having fun playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck, and this is EGI2, the thinking stream. I want to thank Nathan Vegetable for your call and your support, and to everybody else who stuck around. I think we have time for one more call, but please don't call, because that's the conceit of the whole thing, is that people are not supposed to call, but they do call, and I like that. I'm thinking, and that's why we do these things. We talk to people, and we try to be good people. We try to support our friends. We try to remember that there are bad people, and there are enough bad people out there in the world, and it's important that each one of you tries your hardest to be a good person. And don't be afraid to look people in the eye, and don't be afraid to be the first person to introduce yourself or to smile. Don't be afraid to shake someone's hand, or even be the first person to extend a hand. Because in the end, you're going to be making it a lot easier when you use your hands. It's sort of like when in Skyrim, when you've got both of your hands and you're casting spells with one hand, and sometimes you got the fire spell or the spark spell, and you got them both going on at one point. You're kind of casting them at something, and then other times you're kind of pulling things down, and then you kind of healing and maybe conjuring things, or sometimes you're using the scrolls to make all the undead things run away. Lost my train of thought. So everybody that is stuck around with us for this evening, I just wanted to go ahead and say a big thank you for supporting the stream tonight. This was a big what if, and we did it, and it definitely is a use of time that we will consider doing again in future, and that we could potentially figure out a way to make it so that I could look that way, and maybe the eyes could look straight, and then it wouldn't be so hard to keep my head in this position. But I'm committed to it, because I do in fact think that is the most important thing that you can do in long form content is commit, even if it causes a great deal of pain in the end. So thanks for not calling. For everybody who did not call, we will be having a show, I think, on the 21st. So please consider coming back for that. As long as we have a full staff, we can run the whole show like normal. But in the meantime, between now and the 21st, we will be trying something new, and I won't tell you what it was. I won't tell you what it is, because I do want it to be a surprise, but let's just say that it's going to involve reviewing games outside. So we got a few more minutes here before we hit the 3-hour mark, and thank you for staying and not calling, and remembering that I'm still not playing Skyrim on the Steam Deck. I'm just thinking about choices that I've made and feeling that life is a pretty confusing mess sometimes, and this is the third time I've tried to wrap it up with some deep thoughts, and hopefully the thoughts are not as dry as Hey, Big Plague is in the chat. Big Plague, welcome to the chat. What's going on? Happy holidays. I'm just gonna kind of just chill out for a second. Oh, right. We gotta raid Luke. Raid. What's, okay. So thank you all again for I'll keep saying oh, is he, oh, Luke's offline. Alright, well, so, mess that up. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna go and get some icy hot and maybe take a long shower. Oh, everything now is live. Okay, so let's do everything is now. No, I'm gonna go ahead. Read everything now. So good on them for being online at this wonderful hour. Bye, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. And I'll be posting another stream idea that I had, because I can't do the full show again in the next couple days.